Hi, I'm Procrastinating Writer, otherwise known as Jim Deadwood, so let's begin, shall we? And I'm going to tell you the best advice for writing characters. Or, more to the point, how you know when you're actually writing a decent character, because sometimes people kind of find that their character starts either doing something that they're a bit, people aren't going to like this. Or a bit, I didn't plan him to do this, I didn't want him to be a nymphomaniac psychopath with a tiny dick. I wanted him to be Prince Charming who saved the Disney princess, and instead he's now just putting his dick in everything because he's a nymphomaniac and he's also psychotic. So he's just going like this. You know, the best advice for writing characters is your character has to bring out the most interesting elements of your plot, the most interesting questions to your themes, and provide the most tension and the best vehicle to tell your message. Your character, whether or not you think they're likable, is irrelevant. Likability in the character is irrelevant because your character has to bring out the most interesting things in the story. That's what makes them likable. Even if they're complete and utter jerk, an alcoholic, nymphomaniac, addicting everything, it doesn't matter if in society people may not like them. Your character may not be Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect or Miss Perfect or just perfect because they don't call themselves Mr. or Mrs. because they're sort of gender non-specific or something, I don't know. Or Lord Perfect if they're slightly narcissistic and grandiose and up themselves. They have to bring about the most interesting things in your story. You know, you don't love someone because they're the most boring person on planet Earth. They can be, your characters can be very interesting even if they're involved in the most mundane sort of things. If you're writing in first person, you have a chance to be in that character's mind, give out the landscape, their thoughts and their views and how everything sort of connects, and you can go on a bit of a tangent and just have the most interesting and engrossing character for a short story who's just going about their day. Another best advice for sort of writing characters is, of course, to be bold with it and to say, yeah, this is my character, without any apologies for it. Don't go, well, he's being a jerk and a dick to everyone, but I gotta give him like a flaw, and like I've gotta sort of balance it out. And you don't necessarily have to do that. It's good to have that, a very humanizing thing. They can be an absolute jerk and a man-child, so to speak, or they can be absolutely sort of offensive in what they say, and you can give them humanizing tragedies, or just reveal that actually they really love something and you build them up and it's like, yeah, I've got this amazing thing, and then you just take it away from them and it's quite saddening. It doesn't make you go, hey, it's because these characters are the most interesting ones in the vehicles for exploring the story, and because of their actions and their decisions and who they are, explore far more of the concept that you are writing about and inevitably the truth in yourself that you're writing about than anyone else in the story. And they're the most human in terms of fiction. So the best advice I can give for writing characters, as I know I enjoy characters in my reading and in watching them and in writing them, is to be bold, because everyone's sort of not tired, but everyone's sort of tired of playing it safe. Like if you have an ordinary character, your character's not ordinary by any stretch of the imagination. If you have an ordinary character, don't write them as ordinary. Ordinary people are fascinating, especially in their minds and what they do in their private life. Everyone's unique and everyone's special with their own ways of dealing with things. So your ordinary person can have ordinary sort of troubles and tribulations and ordinary scenarios. But you make it interesting, you make it unique, and you just make it feel like it's out of the ordinary. Because if you're a young person falling in love, it's very much an out of the ordinary experience. It's not something that happens. If you're feeling isolated or you're dealing with those themes, no matter if it happens to ordinary people every day, to that one person, it feels out of the world. It feels like it's only them that deals with it. And you have to bring that out in the story. This is just a shotgun blast of things, but the best advice is to be bold. Make sure your character explores the most interesting and takes the most interesting, story-wise, decisions that they can, regardless of whether or not you think maybe someone in real life would. It doesn't matter if the story's going along and if the plot's involving and if everything is just coming up better than the alternative, then it's far more entertaining. And entertainment is very, very, very important to keeping their suspension of disbelief, and it makes people follow characters who other people just, when they hear and skim read it, go, what the fuck? How can you like a character who's acting like this and this and this and this and this? Because there's more to it than that. So be bold. Make sure your character does the most interesting things, and also to recognise that even when you're writing an ordinary person, you have to use a touch of melodramatics with it, and to understand that even if heartbreak and falling in love or dealing with jealousy or betrayal, trust issues and whatever is a very universal thing that everyone goes through, and that millions of people are potentially going through right this second as you watch, to them it is a very different experience, coloured in, yes, different variables, different people, different settings, different scenarios, different reasons, different viewpoints, etc, etc, etc. But to them it feels like only they can possibly feel it, only they can possibly know. So get that across in your ordinary characters. So I've been James Edwards, otherwise known as Procrastinating Writer, and I hope you enjoyed this updated The Best Advice for Writing Characters video. I think I may do a few more of these in time. I think I have something important to say. Disagree with me if you wish. If you disagree with me, dislike the video, comment, say why, or like the video if you agree with me. Leave your mark, leave your comment, because someone on this video is coming here to look for advice. And they'll also look at the comment section as well, and it would be great if there was some great feedback underneath this video right here. Thank you very much. I've been James Edwards, otherwise known as Procrastinating Writer, and I'm now going to leave you to keep browsing YouTube. Take care.